Hello everybody, my name is Mehdi. In this video I'm going to talk about the prevalence of reading difficulties. The ability to read is one of the most constituting characteristics of literacy. Acquiring the skill of reading demands explicit instruction and often involves substantial effort. While reading becomes automatic and effortless for majority of children, it remains a challenge for some. If this disorder is not treated in the primary school years, the educational problems of children will continue into adulthood. It is widely acknowledged that when children fail to use and understand a spoken language or to read and write effectively to express themselves, it can have notable repercussions on their self-esteem, social growth, and prospects for education and employment. For decades, the majority of students in the United States have consistently fallen short of meeting national education standards in reading. Data from the National Assessment of Educational Progress in 1992 revealed that only 29% of the fourth graders met the proficiency standards in reading. By 2019, the National Center for Education Statistics indicated that despite some improvement, the percentages of students meeting reading expectations had only risen to 35%. Results of the 2015 National Assessment of Educational Progress also shown that in the United States, about 25% of 8th grade students had not achieved basic reading proficiency. The same holds in the UK. In one of the earliest studies, Ofsted reports that despite the research, legislation, and attempts by successive government to improve reading standards over the last 30 years, a large proportion of children, approximately 25% according to government figure in the UK, continue to fail to learn to read. There is a growing acknowledgement, at least in the US and Canada, that educational institutions need to provide early identification of children at risk for language impairment and reading comprehension difficulties and incorporate research findings into their standards and policies. Despite being one of the most common developmental conditions, most people do not know about DLD and dyslexia. The lack of awareness means that often children with DLD are left unidentified and they are at higher level of risk for poor educational and life outcomes. Recent efforts to raise awareness of DLD and dyslexia have brought attention to the need for the systematic approaches to a school-based identification and prevention of learning difficulties. New research support the use of universal language screening in the early grades to identify children at risk of DLD. Leach and colleagues 2003 reported that about 41% of students who have reading difficulties have late emerging reading disability. Late emerging reading disabilities are reading disabilities that do not appear until at least third grade. Reliable screening provides accurate data about the reading skills of children. Universal screening generally use norm reference tests, uh, also and designed to gauge students' performance relative to each other. Implementing universal language screening during the early school years can help the early identification of children with hidden oral language impairments. See you soon.